Hey there, Hayden here, your Spokane real estate resource. And if you're planning to sell your home this spring or summer, there's one thing you must absolutely do before you list. And no, I promise it's not crossing your fingers and hoping for a bidding war. It's prepping your home strategically, intentionally, and with today's buyers in mind. And in this video, I'm walking you through the key things Spokane sellers should be doing before hitting the market so you can sell faster, for more money, and with less stress. First, let's touch on the current market here in Spokane. We're seeing the highest inventory levels we've seen really since 2017, and that means buyers have more options than they've had in years. And while homes are still selling, they're not flying off the shelves like they were in 2021. And so what does that mean for you? It means that you have to stand out, and that starts before you ever put a sign in the yard. So the biggest mistake I see sellers making is skipping the prep work. A lot of sellers out there think that buyers can see past all this stuff, and I promise you they can't, or they just will choose not to. So here's what I recommend. The first thing is to declutter. Go room by room and remove at least 50% of your belongings. You're going to be moving anyway, so I believe it's time to start packing already. You should then deep clean, and I'm talking baseboards, blinds, inside the fridge and windows. Your home has to sparkle and look brand new. They don't want to see the dust mites that have been collecting for years. We all know we have that vent somewhere that we just haven't looked at since we moved in our house. Those things should be replaced, and we'll talk a little bit more about those things that you should spend a little bit of money on that make a huge difference. The next thing is to do a smell test. You want your home to smell neutral, not like pets, not like last night's curry, and definitely not like the Glade factory exploded. Any type of smell can be very sensitive to people, and even if you think it smells okay, a lot of people have really intense sensitivities to specific smells, and so you want it to be as basic and neutral as possible. These are the low-hanging fruit that instantly make a home more appealing, and it's totally within your control to fix these things. Now let's look at what gets overlooked all the time, and it's these tiny little repairs. So we're talking like loose doorknobs, squeaky hinges, cracked outlet covers, dated light fixtures, burnt out light bulbs, missing cabinet hardware. You might not notice these things anymore because you've been living in your home and you kind of just become blind to them after a while, but buyers definitely will. And here's the thing, they make your home feel cared for, like you have a pride of ownership. So when a buyer sees that even the little things have been handled, they really trust that the big stuff has been taken care of too. So these things are not expensive to fix, but it's really effective. And if you do nothing else after watching this video, just go around your house and change out the light bulbs that have been in there for 20 years. Install some fresh cabinet pulls, and you would be shocked at the difference it will make. Something that I've been doing recently is replacing the vent covers around my home because I live in a 1954 home. They'd all been painted over, were kind of grimy, and just didn't look very good. So I've cut out all the caulking, pretty much pulled them off the wall, put new ones in, and it really just something so simple as like a $10 to $20 thing really brings new life to the property. If you've got a little bit more money, I would say there's a few other small upgrades that go a really long way. So if one would be to swap out a few faucets here and there around the house to something a little bit more clean and modern, upgrade a few lights in the area. I call them boob lights, and they're just not that attractive anymore. There's a lot of great options that really update them and give your house some more style. Add fresh mulch and flowers to the front yard for instant curb appeal, and repaint a room or two if the walls are scuffed, dark, or super personalized. Again, none of this has to be super expensive, but it sends that message that your home is fresh, updated, and move-in ready. And I feel like if you did a lot of these small things, it wouldn't cost you more than, I don't know, a couple $1,000 tops. Like there's a lot of this stuff that you could do by yourself that's really not that expensive. But a big bonus tip is before you do any of this, just invite a local expert over for a quick walkthrough. I offer what I call a seller strategy session where I'll walk through your home with you and tell you exactly what to fix, clean, or upgrade based on your home, your price range, and your neighborhood. It's totally free. It could save you thousands of dollars, but it also could earn you thousands of dollars. I'm talking to lots of clients right now. Specifically, there's one in Liberty Lake we were looking at where they have this property on acreage. It's in a beautiful location. They had just done some interesting DIY work throughout the years, and so we were just really honest with them on their countertops in the kitchen. There was a tile countertop that they had done this kind of epoxy thing over, and it just didn't look like a Liberty Lake house that looked at the lake itself that was worth $1 million or around $1 million. And we just said, hey, for like $1,500 we could just throw some quartz countertops in here, and this is going to look like a brand new kitchen. And so there are things where on that end of things where we're talking about almost $1 million property, we're going to spend maybe a couple $1,000 in per room in the things like the kitchen, the bath, things like that, in order to bring your property up to the value that it deserves. And so if you can spend 10 grand but earn an extra 60 to 75, then that is totally worth it. So if you're thinking about selling in 2025, don't just throw it on the market and hope for the best. Make sure to prep it, position it, and just sell it right the first time. And if you want to schedule a seller strategy session, you'll find a link down below from my calendar. I'd love to help you come up with a game plan that works for you. And if you found this helpful, just give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check back next week because we're walking through the 3 biggest mistakes I see Spokane sellers make and how you can avoid all of them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.